because it would fly under the minimum percentage. And so Bill might have a comment on that. But the great news is we have Kevin Blau, Dr. Kevin Blau here in the audience. And so if you have any questions, he has been working diligently with city staff. And I know from personal experience, my household utilizes the chiropractic clinic a lot, and that parking lot is packed, even at 8 in the morning. Right? Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Blau or for staff? The site plan is.
So the logic in combining rather than just moving the lot line of 2512, just lost it, the southern lot, is because the impervious surface will be a small enough percentage that they don't need the
That is
stormwater.
correct.
Okay.
That is
And
correct.
the engineer, as well as Mr. Blau, they did submit a stormwater management plan for this, and they do maintain. So technically, they probably could modify that property line a bit, but it is, that engineering report was done for both sides.
Okay. I'm just, should the motion be specific enough that the CSM definitely combines the lot or just potentially adjusts? If we're saying, I don't know, or if it's not in the cards, if it's not gonna happen, and it's definitely gonna be a
I guess if I
combination.
were making the motion, I would make the motion that if they don't do CSM, they'll have to do a stormwater management plan as shown on this plan. But if they don't want to do that, they could combine the two parcels, and that would negate the need for a stormwater management. So I guess it's certainly up to you. Corey might have a comment.
Right, but I was just, Phil and I happened to be talking, I was kind of surprised that if it's still, I don't know what the lot size would be if you just move the existing lot line north.
Yeah.
I get the logic if you don't want to do a stormwater management, but if there's already.
Still have one. So the question, Corey, is you guys do plan on following this up with the CSM?
That combines the two, rather than just
Right.
moves the northern lot line of 2512.04 north a little bit and still retaining a separate lot to the north? Okay. Got it.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, that's the plan.
Yep.
Unless there's other questions, I'd make the motion to approve the site plan as submitted contingent on the CSM combining the two parcels.
Doc Reiner, second. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Beanie.
Aye.
Paul. Egan.
Aye.
Foss.
Aye.
Knockreiner.
Aye.
Sulik.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Number 5, discussion and possible action on site plan for Pie Barn for Cleary Kretsch Post 1707 VFW, 215 West Collins Street.
So Cleary Kretsch, VFW Post 1707, has submitted this site plan for a pie barn. I believe it's the first pie barn submitted for approval before the Plan Commission in recent history. What is a pie barn? It is kind of a glorified gazebo where pie is served. And if you've ever been to the great concerts that take place at the VFW every summer, where that proposed site is the exact site where they have been selling pie for many, many years. Usually it's under either a tent or just a table. So they have submitted a basic rendering of what it will look like with a site plan here. A relatively small building, as you can see, 20 by 12 by 15, mounted on a concrete base. The structure meets the setback requirements, as you can see, so it's relatively simple. City staff recommend approval as submitted.
Having purchased pies and visited that site many times, I make a motion to approve the site plan for Pie Barn for Cleary Kretsch Post 1707 VFW 215 West Collins Street.
Alderperson Paul? Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Feeny.
Aye.
Paul. Egan.
Aye.
Foss. Nachreiner.
Aye.
Sulik. Motion carries.
Item number 6, discussion and possible action on CSM for Culvers and Tommy's Car Wash, parcels number 3092.05 and 3092.06, 2725, 2727, and 2733 New Pinery Road.
As we talked about at the last Plan Commission meeting, with the approval of the Tommy's Car Wash and the changes to the Culver's Restaurant, LSRE New Pinery LLC has submitted this CSM to create 3 new parcels for each of the new businesses. You'll notice lot number 1 is for Culver's, number 2 is for the new Tommy's Car Wash down here, and then number 3 is for the future indoor storage facility, which is the former Ace Hardware. So the western lot line for the existing Culver's parcel lot 1, as you can see, has been moved slightly west to accommodate the changes, of course, to the drive-in and the addition of new parking stalls against the building. And the CSM does reference cross-access easement and parking easements along with some of the miscellaneous easements. Lot 1 is zoned neighborhood business as it is now, and lots 2 and 3, which were one parcel before the CSM divided them, are currently zoned B4. So as they become separate parcels, likewise, they will too become B4 general business. And so all of the newly configured parcels, 1, 2, and 3, do comply with the bulk zoning regulations for these zoning districts. Approval of the CSM obviously will facilitate the development of Tommy's Car Wash and the future indoor storage facility. Staff recommend approval of the CSM as submitted. And Corey Anderson is here from General Engineering if you do have any questions on the CSM.
Go ahead, Sulik.
Question, just for the record then, have we had any comments made from the neighboring properties, lot 1, for example?
No, city staff has not received any comments for or against.
Neighbors of the school.
Or,
Right here.
yeah, or the owners of the
Yeah,
other
right.
lots.
Which is all of us.
And that was my only, it referenced, as it states, the CSM references cross-access easements and parking easements. This was not particular to this, this group, but being both left-hand and right-hand of all of those lots, does the city staff analyze the individual lots for compliance with parking?
We do, absolutely.
So
And
without,
I do that in particular.
so without the shared parking, they would still
So
be
The parking does meet the parking requirements for all 3. That is correct.
independently, even though they have
Independently,
shared?
which they must with separate parcels,
Yeah.
as separate businesses.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Sulik.
At other car washes within the city of Portage, we've seen at times there can be quite a lineup of cars waiting to take their turn. City staff comfortable with the number of spaces available to stage up in anticipation of getting into the car wash?
Yeah, I think what you want to look at with the car wash is the queuing, and the queuing is like 150 feet. It does kind of far exceed the minimum requirements, which is like 100. So, and again, you basically come in at 3 cars, and then it narrows down to 1 when you go into the car wash. So they're kind of packing the cars in so they don't litter the rest of the parking area and litter into New Pinery Road, or Collins Street. So
That was
we've
my
looked at that, yeah. So the queuing is pretty good, even if it's a busy car wash. They're gonna be in that line of the queue and not in the parking lot, not in the roadway of New Pinery Road. Unless, there's always a day that it
I mean, if
could.
if they're in the parking lot, they're into their other business,
Right.
It's all the same owner. So I'm sure that that they don't want that either, that they ain't gonna let that, they don't want that to get into the Culver's parking lot. But they're gonna be able to stack a lot of cars in there before they gotta worry about that.
Exactly, well put, Dennis, yeah, that's
And I don't
exactly right.
think you'd ever have to worry about them ever getting out onto Collins. you know, that they would be stacking them out onto Collins, and naturally, they won't be able to stack them onto New Pinery.
No, and that's the nice thing about this site is the visibility aspect of it. If cars are backed up and they can't pull off into the parking lot, they're gonna have to keep going.
That's right. That's right. And like I say, it'd be different if somebody else owned Culvers, and we had to worry about that. It's all the same owner.
Right, that's true.
Knockreiner?
I'll make a motion to accept the CSM for the Culver and Tommy's Car Wash. 3092.05, 3092.06, 2725, 2727, 2733, New Pinery Road.
I'll second.
Egan seconds. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Feeny.
Aye.
Paul. Egan.
Aye.
Foss.
Aye.
Knockreiner.
Aye.
Sulik. Motion carries.
Item number 7, discussion and possible action on site plan for Portage High School Building Addition Gymnasium and Aquatics Addition, 301 East Collins Street.
So at long last, after the referendum, we have a site plan for the aquatic center and the building addition. Lot of interior. Here we go. So the school district has submitted the site plan for, as I said, the new gymnasium and aquatic center. The first floor footprint is about 39,621 square feet, and the exterior rendering shows the dark bronze metal panels with orange highlights. The new parking lot has 78 stalls, which meet city code requirements. The landscaping plan is centered around two large areas, the kind of the biofilters here and here, as well as two other areas. And that exceeds with 1,303 and 676 different plantings respectfully. And that includes the smaller landscape areas as well. An access road, fire lane relocation, and utility relocations are also shown. They also submitted an exterior lighting plan with a photometric plan that also meets city code requirements. A stormwater plan is required for this proposed building addition. So if there's any motion to be made, we would ask that it be contingent upon submittal of a stormwater management plan that's approved by city staff
And
and
we
meets
have-
city code requirements.
We have received that at this point.
And we do have Superintendent Sween here, as well as Corey Anderson from General Engineering, who designed the site plan, if you have any specific questions.
And we don't need to make the motion subject to annexation? That just,
No, I really don't think you need to do that. The paperwork
Oh, it
has
is
all
done?
been submitted, it's been substantially approved. We just have to cross the T at the city council meeting, and we just have one little, I don't even want to call it a glitch, I believe it's with Alliance. So it's basically been approved by the state DOA. Coming in. It will come in with an R1 zoning, R1 single family, because that does match the comprehensive plan for this future land use. But keep in mind that R1 does allow us an allowed use, any school facility, which is categorized as institutional land use. That's not an issue.
Sorry to interrupt, but next month we are bringing CSM forward. If you remember, and it's on the existing site plan, those lots that were annexed, there was like, I don't know, 10 of them, and there was a bunch of.
narrow.
Well, this addition goes across those lots,
this the addition to the high school, or is this?
The high school,
Just the high school?
just the high school,
This
just
is
the high school,
What we're looking at is just the high school here.
yes.
And
Which the majority of that is a gymnasium, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm making sure my bearings are correct. If I'm standing on East Collins looking at the school, there's that student parking area on the left, and that driveway would extend kind of behind that to the north, right?
So we're up to the right of the screen, where that driveway that the grade picks up, that's the existing student parking lot to the west. So, you got 78 more stalls over by the athletic complex, but then you have that whole west parking lot on the other side too.
And the Gray Road is just gonna be similar to what is there right now, just access around the building?
Essentially an access drive.
If there's no other questions, I'd make the motion to approve the site plan as submitted, contingent on the stormwater management plan being submitted to meet city code.
Look. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Feeny.
Aye.
Paul. Egan.
Aye.
Voss. Nachreiner. Sulick.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Number 8, discussion and possible action on site plan for middle school modifications, 2505 New Pinery Road.
So this site plan is for, oh, we're upside down, of course. The middle school additions. So the middle school site plan makes exterior modifications to the Wayne J. Bartles Middle School, including 3 bump-out building additions, as you can see here, here, and here, on the west side of the current school building, which total 5,980 square feet. The demolition of the canopy at the entrance with the reconstruction will also take place right here. Pavement drainage improvements, culverts, infiltration trench, et cetera, will take place on the north and east side of the building here to improve drainage, which is sorely needed, along with a concrete pad and a new loading area. There, of course, will be extensive renovations to the interior, but basically, we just need to approve the site plan changes to the footprint. So again, 3 little bump-out building additions, demolition of the front, the miscellaneous drainage issues here. And again, we have Superintendent Sleen and Corey Anderson from General Engineering. Staff make a unanimous recommendation to approve.
Go ahead, Egan.
The term loading area for the school, is that the kids drop off or?
Well, it's partially, it's the loop in the back, but that's where our loading dock is for most maintenance, so at the middle school, there's a loading dock area back there, so there's the back side of the high school.
Okay, but this doesn't incorporate a change to the loop, the drop-off loop?
You aren't gonna be able to drive completely around this building. You can't now, and you're not gonna be able to
We're not adding like an access road.
all the way around the building. And you aren't intruding into the field in back of that building now, are you? No. That's staying as is?
Practice football field.
Yeah, yeah.
Discus throw is, that we're not touching any of that.
You're not touching any of that. Only
Realistically, the only,
a little bit towards the ball diamonds.
they're on the like south side in the front there by the library, but otherwise you can see that the other additions kind of fit within the whole footprint of the old front of the building.
Yeah, towards the ball diamonds, them, yeah,
They don't really protrude any further than the building line.
yeah.
And as far as the storm, or the drainage issues, the solution is whatever's happening over on the east, in the northeast corner?
Yeah, so the issue on the turnaround area is the water is just not getting off the surface fast enough. So we put in some concrete swales to get it off the pavement,
goes out to School Road, it doesn't go out to Slifer. And from School Road, I assume it goes to New Pinery. How is it going, is it gonna go through the varsity field?
You know, follow the road, right?
No, it kind of goes down that sidewalk from like the football field down to School Road, between the middle school and School Road, there's that sidewalk. Kind of, we use it as
Yeah,
And the shot put.
stuff is going. That's where it goes. It actually takes it away from the football field.
but so the softball fields and that aren't gonna be affected by this.
No, the discharge will be where the buses park, with that sidewalk and curb on School Road. So that be collected there and then it flows down. There's curb inlets along School Road before you get to Fountain Street.
I mean, you go too much to the east, we just take care of a water problem over there.
There's no other questions. I'd make the motion to approve the site plan as submitted.
Paul? Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Feeny.
Aye.
Paul. Aye. Egan.
Aye.
Ross. Boss, I'm sorry. Not Greiner.
Aye.
Sulik.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Paul?
Second.
Egan with a second. Call the roll, please.
Feeny.
Aye.
Paul. Aye. Egan.
Aye.
Boss. Not Greiner. Sulik.
This one out.
Motion carries.
That was
6:49.